Hooters is on the brink of bankruptcy.
I did know that.
And they're doing all types of sort of things, including they've closed a bunch of Hooters.
Well, the positive thing is the local one's not having problems. It's the, national chain?
It's the national ones.
Yeah.
So the local ones are good?
Yeah, but they're still going to change it up to be more family friendly.
And it's in its first afternoon of March Madness. See, I'm going to be honest with you. I still prefer Hooters over Wing House.
The food's better, I might.
100%.
Over
Is Wing House still around?
Yeah, barely.
It is? Okay.
Barely. Me and Sumo went to the one by the stadium when Sumo was in town last year, and there might have been 5 people. I mean, and it's a nice place.
That's a double-decker one, isn't it?
That's the double-decker one, and I think they built that one to be kind of like the premier because it's near the stadium, and there's several things. But it was the food was horrible.
The food is horrible.
And it's just there was maybe this is lunchtime. Maybe 8 guys there.
That one though is one of their top sellers in the area.
What, Wing House?
Yeah, for that location.
I'll tell you I think the original Hooters on Clearwater is still pretty jamming, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the one on Hillsborough does still pretty good.
Both of those are the original owners that own it.
Oh, the original Hooters 6.
Yes.
They kept Hooters was discovered by 6 men here, like in 1984, something like that,
yeah,
Lummy?
84-85, yes.
Yeah. And Hooters was originally discovered in Clearwater, Florida. The original one is right on Gulf to Bay, and it was discovered by 6 men. The original it was Ed Drosty. I don't know who all a couple of them have died. And when they sold out to Hooters of America, they sold like all of their store lummies, like 400, 500 stores to this Atlanta-based food company, but they kept like 12 stores or 10 stores.
I believe it was 12.
And they do everything uniformly and they get the same food purveyor, the whole 9 yards. They just carved out 12 stores that meant a lot to them, one of which was the original one on Gulf to Bay, and I think the other one is the one on here in Hillsborough. Is there still one down by UJ on Gandy?
Yep.
Does it do okay?
It's okay. I mean, I go there with Trey. We used to go there all the time. Yeah.
I love their what's it go? Mild, medium, hot.
Yes.
I like their mediums, drummies only, double breaded.
Yeah, those are good.
In its first afternoon of March Madness, the original Hooters restaurant in Clearwater is buzzing. There are plenty of men enjoying the hoops on TV in the bar area. Unsurprisingly, for a chain that has gained and nurtured a reputation for catering to the ID of the American male. But in a booth away from the den, Sherry Lipley, age 67, and her friend Karen Stevenson, 61, who has flown in town from Indianapolis, are waiting to get plates of wings. Eating at Hooters is a tradition for them. As out-of-towners, it's because of the Meanwhile, I'll tell you right now, Indianapolis has one of the downtown Indianapolis, which is right by the Hooters in Indy, is located exactly between where the Colts play and the Pacers play.
A perfect spot.
And it does well. It does really, really well. So I don't know why, if you live in Indy, you have to come to Clearwater necessarily to go to Hooters, because you got one right there in Indy and downtown. Indeed, at this restaurant, the only one and nearby in Tampa, despite the air of testosterone charged, the Hooters brand and its very name conjures mixed groups of men and women, and a few scattered families with their kids have made for very demographic of customers that afternoon. So, Lummy, are they trying to make it more family oriented? Are they taking the chicks out of the tight shorts and all that kind of stuff?
They're working on it, but yeah, they want to make it more family friendly kind of place, which I think would kill it.
Well, it's family friendly already. Half the time you're in there, there's women as well as men. I mean, it's not like some dude hangout.
The ability for those locations, among 22 still owned by local men who founded the brand. All right, Lemmy, so the original Hooters 6 that we talked about in 83 still have 22.
Yeah, it looks like they bought some. They got some in Chicago and New York, but they own the rest in Florida.
If successful, the same Florida founders who sold off the Hooters brand over 2 decades ago will retake control of the company as it goes through bankruptcy. So they're saying, Jay, that maybe the original Hooters guys might take back the whole corporation.
I bet you they get it working again.
I bet you they do too. Their pitch began last year at the latest private equity owners of Hooters of America, the corporate entity that now owns the brand, shuttered locations and struggled to manage a roughly $350 million debt load. Neil Kiefer, which I think Neil Kiefer might have been one of the original owners. Neil Kiefer, chief executive officer of the founder-owned unit. Hospitality, blah, 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 blah. So here's what deal, Lummy. I do hope that the original Hooters guys, the original Hooters 6, take back all the Hooters. How much did they sell? Jay, they can't take that money back, right? I mean, that money's long gone, right?
I would love to sell a business for a huge profit and buy it at a loss again and then fix it.
Wouldn't that be huge?
I know a lot of guys, not a lot, I know a few guys that I've met over the years that have done that. And it just shows that certain corporations can't be run without the key players.
I know a guy who owned an HVAC company, and back when I was with Cox, he was a major client of mine. It was an air conditioning company, and some big air conditioning bigger than his came in and bought him out for I think like $17 million. Bought him out. He had to sign a non-compete, the whole 9 yards. And they went, I think he made $17 million. They went like 5 years and started really, really, really having problems. He bought his company back for $5 million and then built it back up and sold it for like another 12 or 13 million 10 years later.
And made money the whole 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good business if you sell it over 17 million or 12 million.
Wouldn't you love for somebody to come by and buy Diaco Law for, let's just say 20 million, okay?
Sure.
And, they give you 20 million. And they go 5 years, and then they say, Jay, we just can't make it work. We'll sell it back to you for 5 or 6. And then you go back in there, fix it, cash flow, and maybe even sell it again. I don't know.
I know some people that have done it with technology. One guy I know came up with some database system that a bunch of colleges, he said almost every college in the nation uses it. He's retired at like 50. And after about 5 years, the company was about to go under, and he bought it back for peanuts on the dollar and made the company healthy again and sold it for a lot more.
Can you Google what the original Hooters, when they sold 20 years ago?
Well, I'm looking at it, and it looks like what happened was that each individual guy just started like selling off portions of it, so they don't have it disclosed. They didn't sell it as a group.
So they didn't sell it as a group?
No, it looks like
it out.
Yeah, like Lynn Stewart sold it at one point, sold some of his shares off.
So they would sell their shares.
Yes. And it looks like a lot of them kept like small shares of it.
I know Ed Drosky's still very, very much involved. And he'll probably be involved in the acquisition of the new one. I hope they get it back. Close down some of these obscure ones like in Fort Wayne, Indiana or something like that. I don't necessarily know that they have to change the menu at all. I think the menu's fine. I just don't know where I mean, Seth, you don't probably find yourself going to Hooters, but like...
Well, I don't like to talk about it, but I do frequent the one on 4th Street quite often.
But where did they go wrong? Like now they're $350 million in debt.
Bubba, the only thing that I could guess is that maybe a big portion of their business was a bunch of dudes getting together on Sundays or on Saturday nights to watch UFC or wrestling, and now a lot of people can do that from home. I don't know. I mean, to me, Hooters, Wing House, all those wings are the same to me.
Maybe, Seth, just like streaming is killing everything with regards to terrestrial radio, cable TV. I mean, streaming is even having an effect on my racetrack because people can go to Dirt Vision or Flow Racing and watch, your Saturday night dirt track from home.
And a lot of those places back, I mean, it felt like it was really only the sports bars that played some of the football games back in the day. I mean, now you can walk into, I think, almost any restaurant or at some place on a Sunday and they'll be playing games.
I bet you between the NFL Sunday Ticket and then the ability to stay at YouTube TV, the ability to, I mean, every one of us has to admit, we can stay home and watch every NFL football game we want. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, back in the day, you had to find, Lummy, a Seattle Seahawks bar and go to that bar to watch the game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Hooters was kind of the same concept. If you wanted to watch that pay-per-view, or like you said, Seth, they would have all the games on.
Yeah, I mean, it might be on a small TV in the back corner by the bathroom, but you could still watch the Hawks play.
but they had the Bears on there, didn't they?
Oh, the big screen, baby.
So I think that it really, I mean, and if you think about it, their business is built around sporting events and food, right?
Yep.
With a little, with some chickness.
Well, they're saying that their problem was rising food and labor costs, where they're having problems finding girls.
Here's another thing.
OnlyFans.
Why? Yes. Why would you go be a Hooters waitress? Make what? $2.13. What do servers make?
With tips, they're making a lot of money.
No. I understand that, Jay. But like, what's your base pay as a server? $5?
I don't know what it is anymore.
Used to be $2.13. So you go and you work your 8-hour shift, dealing with dudes that are trying to grab your ass and get your phone number and all the looking at your boobies and doing all that.
That's the difference, Bubba.
$2.13.
$2.13 plus tips. But now, and so Seth, you have to go do your shift. You had to actually bust your ass to make a couple $100. Now all you got to do is stay in your bedroom and show your knockers. You don't even have to do anything besides show your boobs.
You're taking waitressing
on OnlyFans. And you know what? The OnlyFans banner goes under streaming. Streaming killed the football fan that come to watch the Bears game because now he can get it at home. And streaming killed the girl that wants to work at Hooters because now she can stream and make and laugh at her Hooters money. That $250 or $300 she would make at Hooters, Lummy, back in 1995, is now $2,500 or $3,000 if she's showing a little TNA on OnlyFans.
That's right.
Do you think they made a ton of money back in the day on calendars, and now no one needs calendars, so that's hurting them too?
I think that's part of it.
Well, I'm going to say something that may be a little controversial too. Do you think it's that they don't hire the skinniest and hottest girls anymore that they used to?
Well, Jay, because the skinniest and the hottest girls aren't applying.
I don't know that to be true. At one point they had guys trying to become Hooters girls.
Jay,
and they had all this crap.
Jay,
and I mean,
only the bigger girls with tattoos from Kansas City are applying because they haven't figured out OnlyFans yet. that skinny.
That's the answer to everything, Bubba. OnlyFans.
No, but it's true.
No,
Bubba's
but
right.
it's true. I mean, but
I don't know that to be true because there's a lot of girls that wait tables that are not only
true.
I waited tables. I'm not an OnlyFans dude. I wouldn't hang my schlong out rather than wait tables on people. I wouldn't do it.
You waited.
Oh, Jay could have worked a towel.
I waited for eight years. I was a waiter.
Waited tables at a family pizza joint.
Dude, I did it at a tourist hub where there were hundreds of people every day that had zero couth, and I had to wait on everybody just like everyone else did. And that's why I can deal with anybody.
There wasn't streaming back then.
It doesn't matter. Guys aren't going to go show their schlong on OnlyFans rather than wait tables to get through law school.
We're talking about Hooters.
Yeah, but you just said
me. We're not talking about you.
But you did. You said Jay.
No. Listen, I got a story right here.
Read
this
it.
lady, which she's
and
not
make
that
sure Jay
attractive.
listens. No.
Listen, Jay. This girl was a waitress for a restaurant. Found out about OnlyFans, ditched it. She's not attractive. Makes $40,000 a month on OnlyFans,
and
where she was making
not
$6,000 to $7,000.
Hold on. But not only, it's all under the umbrella of, let's not just make OnlyFans the bad guy. It's streaming. Streaming takes that Chicago Bear customer away from your joint who couldn't get the game anywhere else. Streaming takes that hot, skinny chick who couldn't make any money otherwise unless she was going to be a stripper. So usually Hooter girls were just one step away from stripping and they didn't want to strip, so they're going to go be a Hooters girl and be hot. But streaming now has taken that girl out of Hooters. The Bears fans out of Hooters. It's all about, you know what? I don't have to, if I want to watch UFC 319 this weekend, I don't got to go to Hooters. I can go right there on my deal and get it.
I think you and I have just, you're giving like the basic Hooters girl to be somebody who's so thirsty that all they're willing to do is try to do anything to get money. In my experience, when there were hot Hooters girls, they were college girls trying to get through college.
And they were
Jay.
That's all I'm saying.
Jay.
When it was successful and profitable, and it was girls that could complete a sentence, and it was great food.
But that was then.
What the heck's wrong with that model?
I'm talking about that model's gone.
Those girls are doctors and lawyers and mothers now. They're not OnlyFans whores.
No, they're not. They're married to doctors and lawyers.
That's not true either. That's a sexist would say.
I'm just saying,
Jay.
you don't understand, Jay.
I stand with Jay.
Jay, there's not a bunch of good-looking chicks trying to be Hooters waitresses. I've been to a Hooters in the last 6 months, and I looked at every waitress that was in there, and none of them were higher than a 7. There used to be.
Who cares? I just want somebody to not act like they're angry because I'm there. They could have 3rd-degree burns on their face.
Yeah, because they don't want to work because they know they could be kicking it out wide and making $50.
Seth said, I just don't want them to have 3rd-degree burns on their face.
I mean, it doesn't.
Man, you got a horrible family life, my friend.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.